Hi everyone, thanks for taking the time to watch this webinar. My name is Carolyn Nightingale and I work with Link Tourism in Australia, and we are proud to represent the island of Kyushu in the Australian market. Following our initial introductory webinar to the island of Kyushu, this is the second in our series. And as confidence returns for international travellers, in this webinar we wanted to share with you some of the wonderful experiences and highlights that Kyushu has to offer your clients. Kyushu is the third largest island of Japan's 4 main islands and the most southerly of the 4 largest islands. It's well connected to the rest of Japan and the world with international ports and airports and direct access to the island of Honshu by Shinkansen and road. Each of the prefectures of Kyushu have their own airports with direct flights from major cities like Tokyo and Osaka in 2 hours or less. Fukuoka is Kyushu's busiest airport with flights from other Asian cities including Singapore, Seoul and Shanghai. Shinkansens operate around every 30 minutes between Tokyo Station and Hataka Station, which is the major train and Shinkansen terminal in Fukuoka. The ride takes around 5 to 6 hours, depending on which train you choose, and costs approximately $290 one way. So compared to the flights, it takes longer and costs you more. However, if you like to see the landscape on the way, it can be a great option. And if you hold a Japan Rail Pass, you may want to use this option as you can ride as much as you want on the bullet train to Fukuoka and beyond southwards, and you can make stops along the way as well. There is also an option of combining a trip to Korea and linking Japan. Operating one of the most modern ferry services between Japan and South Korea, JR Kyushu Jet Ferries utilises the high-speed vessels called Beetles. The Queen Beetle is the newest ferry, which was actually built in Australia, and it operates between Fukuoka and Busan in Korea. Unfortunately, due to COVID, it has not started international operations as yet, but you've got to watch this space. Pre-COVID, there were existing ferry crossings between 2 ports running numerous times daily, with frequency increasing in the peak summer period. The cost is around 16,000 yen, or Australian dollars $192, and it takes approximately 3 hours. As you can see here, there are a number of options to get you around the island of Kyushu, and each prefecture is easily accessible, whether it be by car or train, and this slide will show you the travelling time distances between each of the prefectures. So let's look at some of the exciting things to do when you head to Kyushu. Kyushu is nicknamed Onsen Island for its abundance of hot springs. The culture and history in Kyushu abounds with rich artistic and cultural scene. It's got lively festivals, fascinating museums and galleries, imposing castles and beautiful shrines to visit. There's nature and adventure. Kyushu offers some of Japan's most remote wilderness with subtropical regions, its lush green hills with active volcanoes and miles of hiking trails leading from mossy cedar groves to arid highland plateaus. And finally, the cuisine. There's delicious food from famous local dishes like tonkatsu style ramen, mizutaki chicken hot pot, and the freshest of seafood and so much more. Now the following video will give you a quick glimpse of what you can expect. Relaxation and wellness. The land on the island was formed by volcanoes and geothermic forces, and it's a heaven for hot springs. Onsen lovers have plenty to choose from in Kyushu as well. Hot springs are dotted everywhere. There are onsen resorts that suit everyone, whether you're looking for rustic charm, historical retreats, or modern luxury. There's many different types of onsen experiences as well. You can use the public onsen, there's private onsens, there's onsens with your swimmers on or the swimmers off, and even tattoo-friendly onsen. So if it is relaxation and wellness you're seeking, you've got to head to Ibusuki. This hot spring town at the southern tip of Kagoshima is famous for its tsunamushi, or sandbathing. Volcanic hot springs line the coast, which warms the sands up to about 50 to 55 degrees Celsius, and it's the only natural sand bath in the world. And after changing into a special yukata, which is a light kimono, you lie down inside a pit that has been dug out along the ocean shore. A pile of warm volcanic sand will then be heaped on top of you, and your task for the next 10 minutes is simply to relax and bliss out to the sound of the lapping waves as your body sweats out impurities. Sandbathing has been scientifically proven to be up to 3 times better for you than regular hot spring bathing. Or to look and feel as beautiful as the Japanese, have a mud bath. The mud nourishes your skin, making it smooth, soft, and just appear more youthful. If you really want to reap the full benefits of this onsen, you should scoop up some of the mud from the bottom and rub it into your skin. It will act both as an exfoliant and a mask, and leaving you even more refreshed. Or why not try a steam bath using sekisho, a Japanese herb which has a wonderful scent. Sekisho herbs spread on the floor will relax both your body and mind, and once you enter the steam room, you lie down on the bed of Japanese medicinal herbs for about 8 to 10 minutes. You'll sweat a lot, but it feels very refreshing. The Beppu Hills Tour, or Jigoku Meguri, is without a doubt one of the most popular onsen attractions and is located in Beppu. Beppu is a small resort town on the southern side of the island and is nationally acclaimed for its abundance of hot springs and home to over 2,000 onsen. There are 8 hills, or Jikoku, scattered around the districts of Beppu City, and most of which are within walking distance of each other. And unlike the previous onsen experiences, here the onsens are for viewing and not for swimming due to the high temperatures, and some get up to around 100 degrees Celsius. The hills of Beppu got the name from the mysterious and temperamental springs here. Water and gas bubbled up from the land so violently in the past that people in ancient times assumed it was cursed, and here the onsen vary in colour, some with sulphides in the water, giving a beautiful cobalt wool colour, another with variations in soil which make it red. And of course, nature and adventure. Kyushu offers some of Japan's most remote wilderness, with its subtropical regions, its lush green hills and active volcanoes, and miles of hiking trails leading from mossy cedar groves to arid highland plateaus. Home to more than 8,000 mountains, Japan is a wonderful destination for hiking trail lovers, but perhaps the best place in Japan for hiking is Kyushu. Its warm subtropical climate allows for an extended hiking period, so outdoor enthusiasts can enjoy mountaineering in all the different seasons. For the adventurous hikers, head to Yakushima. This subtropical island is 60 kilometers south of the southernmost tip of Kyushu. Around 20% of the island was declared a UNESCO Natural Heritage World Site in 1993, and the island is a national park. There are hiking trails from beginners levels to advanced, with times ranging from 1 to 5 to 10 hours. And the most popular hike is to the Jomonsugi, a cedar tree believed to be up to 7,200 years old, and making it the oldest tree in Japan, and actually one of the oldest in the world. It takes about 10 hours to hike there and back, and because of the changing climate, we do recommend guides, and there are lots of rest huts along the way. In the southern western part of Miyazaki, surrounded by the Kirishima Mountains, is Elbino Plateau. It's a beautiful area for hiking trails and lakes within Kirishima Yaku National Park. There are several hiking courses starting from the visitor center. You can hike to the top of Mount Karakuni in about 2 hours, and on a clear day you can see all the way to South Korea. Saga Prefecture is also an excellent place to experience the wild nature of coastal Japan, with its dense pine groves and its wind-whipped shorelines, featuring indented mini peninsulas separated by tiny waterways and inlets. Cycling is a great way to see Kyushu as well. There are routes to suit all levels, from quiet back roads through farming districts to challenging mountain courses. There are several rental shops and bike share spots near major stations, attractions and tourist information centres. So whether you're after an exciting bike ride near an active volcano, getting up close and personal with wildlife, or just relaxing in lush green fields, Aso Kuju National Park has something for everyone. Located in central Kyushu, established in 1934, this is one of the oldest and most beautiful national parks in Japan, making it popular with visitors year-round. Another popular choice is to ride the Maple Yabiki cycling road in the Oita Prefecture. Back in 1982, the route of the old train line was repurposed to create a delightful 22-kilometre cycle path that follows the Yamankawi-gawa River. As it was originally created for trains, the route has a very gentle gradient as it climbs through charming rural countryside towns, past paddy fields and small settlements. And towering on either side, the gorgeous, beautiful scenery is especially stunning in November, when the leaves of the forest turn into their full autumn colours. Kyushu has a rich artistic and cultural scene, which the locals are passionate about preserving. There are lively festivals, fascinating museums and galleries, imposing castles, traditional Japanese theatre and much more. You can have fun getting involved in hands-on experiences with arts and culture as well. There's lots of traditions to immerse yourself in, like wearing a kimono, learn the art of making sushi, experience a tea ceremony, learn origami, and so much more. Must-see highlights for every visitor to this area is Kyushu's atmospheric local festivals, which are called Matsuri in Japanese. The Hakata Gion Yamakasa in Fukuoka is one of the biggest traditional festivals in Japan, with a history dating back 700 years. You'll see teams of men racing the vibrantly coloured decorated one-ton floats, and almost 1 million spectators gather to watch this classic annual festival held annually during the first half of July. There's also the Karatsu Kunchi Festival in Karatsu City, Saga, and is one that celebrates harvest in autumn. There's 15 huge floats with their carriers shouting and playing music around the city centre night and day, and it's held annually between 2nd and 4th of November. And also in Saga Prefecture is the Gat Olympic, which is a unique event held in the mud flats of the Ariake Sea in late May to early June. There are so many examples of traditions in Japan, and most dating back thousands of years. The Japanese tea ceremony, for example, is preparing, serving and drinking tea in a ritualistic and ceremonial way where it is used to promote well-being, mindfulness and harmony. The tea itself is a powdered green tea called matcha. The purpose of the Japanese tea ceremony is to create bonding between the host and the guest and also gain inner peace. The tea ceremony is very important in Japanese culture because it used to be practiced only by the elite Zen monks and noble warlords for most of the history. There's also the Oshima Sumagi textiles. It's a sophisticated silk pongee fabric well known for high-class kimonos. It's carefully hand-dyed using mud, and it's local produce of Amami Island, which is working towards, again, a designation as a World Heritage Site. Sake is a traditional Japanese alcohol made from fermented rice. It's the country's national beverage and is commonly served during formal ceremonies, special events, and national holidays. There are many sake tours available which take you behind the scenes to talk with the master brewers and most importantly to taste a lot. Kyushu's volcanic soil being packed with nutrients, which along with its warm temperate climate makes the area an agricultural paradise. In addition, Kyushu was a major trading port in previous times, and even when the rest of Japan was closed off to foreign countries, this gave the area a unique food culture that seamlessly blends together Japanese, Chinese and Western tastes. And here's a fun fact, except for Tokyo, you'll find more restaurants in Kyushu per person than any other part of Japan, and even more than Hong Kong and Singapore. Fukuoka City has its reputation for night food stalls called yatai. And Fukuoka is also the birthplace of tonkatsu ramen, or Hakata ramen as the locals call it. Tonkatsu means pork bones in Japanese, which make up the soup base for this ramen dish. The signature dish of Miyazaki, located on Kyushu's southern eastern coast, is chicken namban. Made using some of the region's famed free-range chicken, this fried piece of heaven is first coated in sweet and tangy vinegar and then topped off with tartare sauce. Or if you're heading in Kagoshima on the southwestern tip of Kyushu, its most famous producer of Kyushu's kurabata pork, which is sweet potato-fed Berkshire pigs, and no dish highlights this better than tonkatsu pork cutlets. Tonkatsu from this region is especially delicious, with succulent bites of meltingly rich pork coated in crispy panko breadcrumbs. Or if it's seafood you're after, especially oysters, head west to Itoshima. And during the winter time, rows of temporary restaurants pop up on the shore next to the fishing ports. These are called the oyster huts. Here, your delicious oysters are sold by the kilogram, and patrons grill them at their own table or head to the terrace in Oita, where they serve oysters and fresh seafood all year round. There's so many flavours of Kyushu, so why not book a Kyushu regional cuisine cooking class and bring some skills home with you. There are so many experiences to explore, whether you have 5 days or 2 weeks in Kyushu. I've put together a couple of sample itineraries in the following slides, which may help you with guiding your clients to their special interests. You can find more sample itineraries via the linked Kyushu website, which I'll share details with at the end of the presentation. For the first-time visitors to Kyushu, Fukuoka is a natural base for exploring, with convenient connections to the rest of Japan by air and rail. Get a taste of adventure and spend a week exploring Kyushu's vibrant nature, delicious food and soothing hot springs. With this itinerary, you can take a journey from Fukuoka through Oita, Kumamoto, and experience the amazing sight of Mount Aso, Japan's most active volcano. You can row through the beautiful Takehiko Gorge and at the end with a visit to Ibusuki on the southern tip of Kagoshima for a relaxing sand bath to soothe your mind, body, and soul. Or what about a tour that explores the food and culture of Kyushu for 8 days? You can taste and experience the Yatai food stalls in Fukuoka for mouth-watering cuisine. You can visit the tea-producing areas and learn all about the beautiful ceramic wares from the masters. Here you'll explore the thriving city of Nagasaki with a visit to Peace Park and Atomic Bomb Museum, which lay testament to its tragic World War II past. And then head back to Fukuoka for your final taste of this amazing island and all it has to offer. As a thank you for watching this webinar, head to the linktourism.com/Kyushu website and complete the short questionnaire to go into the draw. And there's also an opportunity to double the chances, which is explained in the questionnaire itself. Here are my details, so please feel free to reach out with any queries or assistance you may need. We have a number of resources and additional information that can assist you in selling this wonderful destination, along with many more sample itineraries and downloadable maps of the various regions. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope to welcome you and your clients to this warm, friendly island of Kyushu very soon.